It was a moment of merriment and testimonies of a journey of a man described with a coat of many colors who has done so well in his endeavors as he used his technical know-how to transform the Kogi State Polytechnic, Lokoja. Today the school is wearing a new look thanks to the present rector, Usman, Ogbo, who over the years has separated himself to be an agent of change in the world where anything can happen. It is his 50th birthday, and dignitaries and students gathered to celebrate him. Our reporter, Faith Abdul-Ghaffar, also tells us more.
Top government functionaries, professors, lecturers, students, and well-wishers all converge in KAFAS Hall, Lokogoma, Lokoja to celebrate the rector of Kogi State Polytechnic, Lokoja, Usman Ogbo, as he turns 50. The atmosphere was charged with music and merriment. Testimonies of who Usman Ogbo is were shared by colleagues, government officials, and friends.
For the last couple of years that he has been in the leadership role, that has been playing the leadership role there, he has proved himself to be a credible academic, an astute administrator, and has developed a formidable social network that is of tremendous advantage to Kogi State Polytechnic. When I came on board nearly 2 years ago as the Vice Chancellor of the new university, Conference University of Science and Technology, he didn't take time before he linked up with me. In fact, he didn't wait for the new man to ask who and who are the people to be linked with. He quickly linked up with me, and ever since then, we have been having very friendly, very fruitful, very rewarding interactions. And these interactions have had very formidable impact on both institutions. That is Conference University of Science and Technology and Kogi State Polytechnic. So I want to seize this opportunity to express, on behalf of KUSTEC, our gratitude to the celebrant today. On behalf of KUSTEC and myself, we wish Dr. Salisu Usman many more years, many more years of impactful life that he has been leading.
The celebrant Usman Ogbo shared his journey so far.
Because of the rough journey, I never believed I could attain 50 years. At times, I check myself to see whether I'm in another world or I'm still alive. Because I have faced, and I can say I have seen death, and God had made me to survive all those challenges. I consider my life story as a story of a positive rebel. We are almost about 25 first of my mother. My father could not afford to send all of us to school. He insisted that everybody should stop at primary school. It was so difficult. But my mom, to whom I give all the glory apart from God Almighty, who labored, who starved herself and brought me to where I am today, I remain eternally grateful to her. Today, after that positive rebellion act, I can tell you we have almost about 8 graduates from the family.
He thanks Governor Yaya Bello for giving him the opportunity to serve in his present capacity, narrated how Governor Yaya Bello became his destiny helper.
And I thank His Excellency Alhaji Adoda Bello for finding me worthy to be appointed as Rector of Kogi State Polytechnic. Of course, at the early phase of the administration, I was part of those who that were criticizing the government on the social media. I stand here to say publicly here and for the public to judge me. My younger brother, may his soul rest in peace. He took ill, he had brain tumor. We needed 3 million naira for brain surgery. I do not have. My parents do not have. We were looking for money. I put up my car for sale. No serious buyer. Somehow along the line, through the deputy governor, His Excellency heard about it. I was not with the government. The same government I was criticizing. The governor called me and said, we heard that your brother had this. I said, yes. It's okay. Please, let's save life first. And said, please, can you send the hospital account to the then chief of staff who credit the account with the 3 million naira. The 3 million naira was paid into the account of the hospital. The surgery was carried out. My brother did not survive. So if you are the one, that same person was contesting for election. He never asked me to come and support him. But I believe that this is the person who came to save the life of my brother. But they said because he's not my tribe, that I have decided to sold home to farm. But as far as I'm concerned, the other person that was contesting never met me and said, please support me. So if you are in my shoe, the person who tried to save the life of your brother and the person who did not know you, if the two of them are contesting election, whom should you support?
The Kogi State Governor Yaya Bello, represented by his Chief of Staff Mohammed Jamiu, read out Ogbo's achievements within the period he was made the rector till date. Said he is an achiever.
We can never appreciate God well enough, for He has once again blessed the good people of Kogi State with a leader in the person of Dr. Usman Ogbo, their student of Kogi State Polytechnic, to whom much is given, they say much is expected. Here you have a leader that have been able to attain that height at 50, that the good people of Kogi State collectively and entirely have come to celebrate. And you can bear him witness, as you can bear me witness, that he has surpasses his predecessors in terms of development, infrastructure, academics, and all forms of life within his short time of his reign in your institution. My advice for you is this: help us to consolidate. Help us to broaden this good name. Shun courtesan. Shun all acts of social vices that will portray you
On the book's launch, Kogi State Chief of Staff to the Governor, the book reviewers, said Usman Ogbo's research work will go a long way to correct ills in the society.
I have this request to make. I am pleading with our professors, our teachers, those that breed us and that we see be responsible for breeding the future leaders, to come together and devise a means of institutionalizing discipline across our tertiary institution in Nigeria. Lack of discipline is the only reason we are where we are today as a nation, Nigeria.
A chapter of it, which is chapter 10, was devoted to the achievements of the Rector of Kogi State Polytechnic in the person of Dr. Usman. So for a young man who is promising, this chapter, of course, brings to the fore the challenges associated with achieving in the educational system. So it is the most read book for everyone, and an aspect of it too has to do with corruption, and in the aspect of corruption, of course, the book also look at the societal impact and implication of corruption and ways and mechanisms geared towards salvaging the Nigerian nation state from the ills associated with corruption.
And what the book does basically is to look at the relationship between democracy, ethnicity, and national development in Nigeria. And like I said in the course of my review, the central argument of the book is to say that ethnicity, or rather the manipulation of ethnicity, has been the bane of the consolidation of political and economic development in this country. And the book went ahead to lay at the doorstep of colonialism the problems of ethnicity that we have in this part of the world.
While responding to ASUU and federal government on the recent strike called off, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic, Federal University Lokoja, Mohammed Suleiman Awudu said lecturers are not properly placed in terms of welfare.
The university education is in a near collapse and needs huge sums of money to revitalize the structure. Government, by its imagination, constituted a committee of needs assessment, and then quantified what would be needed to revitalize the tertiary institution, particularly education and universities, the sum of 1.3 trillion naira. But I've just said in the lecture that government released only 2 tranches of 200 billion, of 20 billion, and of 30 billion. Now the remainder of the tranches have not been released, which goes to show that government in itself is insolvent financially. And if that is it, ASUU would need to restructure, re-strategize, because you cannot beat the dead horse. Already government has said there's no money, and I've concluded that it is time that members of the public, ASUU, as well as government, realized that we have no other way but to introduce tuition fee. And when you do so, then each university can now utilize the resources available to her successfully, particularly in revitalizing this decadence of the structure that we have in universities. The salaries, like I said, the salaries are so meager. I have just made an analogy of the slave and the slave master. With the kind of the credential that the professor has, and then you must have had what the professor takes as a salary, 416,000 naira. That's the highest.
He unveiled the books written by Usman Ogbo, which were launched to the world.
We stand here in the company of the good people of God, the entire government structure of Kogi State, and our Father, the mouthpiece of God across the length and breadth of the state, to obey this book titled Democracy, Ethnicity, and Nigeria's Development. We hereby obey. Also, alongside this is a book titled The Comfort and Reality of the Modern Educational Institutions in the Multicultural Setting
Faith Abdugafar reporting for MSC TV.